glove unvests new gloves. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has issued a set of new restrictions taking effect on Monday in the wake of a new start of the coronavirus, though customers are not banned from eating in restaurants at weddings are still allowed under quarantine conditions. The directive, signed by Chen Prayut as Director of the Centre for COVID-19 Situation Administration (CCSC), were announced in the Royal Gazette on Sunday. The new restrictions will be applied to 28 Rason provinces, including Bangkok. The 28 Rason provinces were officially announced in Royal Gazette on Sunday, according to the announcement. A ban is imposed on the use of buildings at school and educational institutes in red zone area with maximum controls to be imposed for teaching and learning or activity likely to draw a crowd except for online learning. Charity public services with permission from provincial governors, small schools with no more than 120 students, and broader province schools activity which could transmit the virus in red zones such as meetings, seminars, banquets, and food handouts are forbidden except where they are carried out permitted by authority or they take place in quarantine practices. Heavy traffic in Korat. Travelers head back to Bangkok. Count apparently by 14 viable activity is official. Bangkok and provincial governors are authorized to close club, bar, and karaoke outlets. In red zone, the new restrictions do not ban customers from dining in eatery. However, the number of seats in platons must be limited. All alcohol consumption is not allowed inside eatery. In the announcement and CCSA, the Interior Ministry and the Public Health Emergency Operation Centre will jointly consider guidelines and ensure the restrictions are properly followed in our province. According to announcement, shopping malls, department stores, community malls, convention and exhibition halls, convenience store, supermarket, and other similar places are still allowed to operate under strict disease control measures. Bangkok and provincial governor have the authority to close premises and impose restrictions in area premises or on the use of vehicles or ban activity at airport from those announced by the CCSA. Authority will screen people who travel between provinces, particularly from less zone provinces, will those who must travel to other provinces must show evidence of why they are going to undergo health screening. Private complainants are also asked to come up with work from home arrangements from employers or stakeholders to reduce the right of transmission. The CCSA's panel on the testing of COVID-19 restrictions is responsible for considering elections or more restrictions as they see fit. Earlier on Sunday, CCSA spokesman Thavisin Visanuyotin said the government plan show some flexibility in imposing the new restrictions to take effect today. The SSCA has revealed restrictions based on the situation in various provinces. Dr. Thavisin said some changes were made before being presented for approval by the Prime Minister. He said, "We have toned down Paris plan." The spokesman said, explaining the CCSA decided not enforce a national lockdown because of the devastation it would cause to business and the wider economy. We will not lock down the country because there is an economic cost pay and everybody will suffer. He said the CCSA has left room for provincial governors, including the Bangkok governor, to impose to her restrictions beyond the new measures list. Governor served as the chairman of Earth Provincial Communicable Disease Committee. They cannot weaken the CCSA measures, but they can add more restrictions, he said. Meanwhile, the CCSA confirmed 315 new coronavirus cases, taking the accumulated total number of infections since the start of the pandemic to 7,694. No new deaths were reported, leaving fatality at 64. The CCSA said 294 of 350 new cases were locally transmitted. Of the 294 94 local casted, 224 were these and 20 migrant workers, 17 in Samut Sakhon and 3 in Nonthaburi. The greatest number of newly infected deaths were Chanthaburi 68, Chonburi 62, Rayong 43, Samut Sakhon 38, including 17 migrant workers, and Bangkok 19. Cambodia's Hun Sen Hills extraction of country's first drop of oil. Phnom Penh, Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen announced that day that the kingdom had extracted its first drop of crude oil from its waters along awaited marathon for one of Southeast Asia Pacific nations. The Gulf of Thailand was significant oil deposits with Chevron first fitting province reserved of Cambodia in 2005. But production stalled as the government and U.S. grant failed to reach a revenue-sharing agreement, lending the firm to sell its stake to Singapore Kiss Energy in 2014. Hun Sen here, the first extraction of cost at a new achievement for Cambodian economy. The first drop of oil has been produced. The year 2020 is coming and we have received a hard gift for our nation, the first oil production in our territory, he said in Facebook post. The cruise was taken from an area of the southwestern coast of Sihanoukville. Chevron's discovery of the reservoir led the kingdom to be feted as the region's next potential petrol state, with the government extracting hundreds of millions of barrels of crude were beneath its waters. Kiss Energy currently holds a 95% stake of the block where the oil was taken from, while the government holds the rest. Kelvin Thanks, the CEO of Kiss Energy's Cambodia operations, said there has been sleep learning close to launch the field production during a global pandemic. The cross-border logistics of mobilizing personnel and equipment to execute this development safely during its time of COVID-19 would not have been possible without government support, he said. The company expects a peak production rate of 7,500 barrels a day once the drilling program is complete in February 2020. A modest amount compared with Cambodia oil producing Nepal, Vietnam, and Thailand. But but the revenues could be significant for government, with estimates in 2017 that it would make at least 500 million in royalty and tax from the first phase of the project. The discovery also laid concerns about how Cambodia, a country long record poorly in terms of transparency, would as its newfound weight, but Hun Sen, Asia's longest serving leader, dismissed them, calling the expansion a blessing for Cambodians. It is not correct like it has been kissed by some ill-will people, he said. Lion and the Mouse. A lion was walking up by a mouse running over his face, getting up angry. He caught him and was about to kill him when the mouse please, if you would spare my life, I will repay your kindness. The lion lunged and let him go. Shortly after this, some hunter caught the lion and tied him up with a strong rope. The mouse, hearing his roar, came and chewed the rope with his teeth and set him free. You draw the idea of my ever being able to help you was silly. You never expect any repayment from me for your favor. Now you know it is possible even for a mouse to help a lion. The moral: no acts of kindness, no matter how small, is every watch. Sakya, one of the districts of Prachinburi province, was established as the 74th province of Thailand on December 1st, 1993. Its largest province in East Sakya has many wonderful attractions, including natural, historical, and cultural sites. It's also the destination for a famous second-hand market known as Longkir Market or Buddha Market. The name Sakya came from the ancient pool in Sakya province. There were two pools with names Sakya and Sakwan. Sakya province is situated in the earth of Thailand. having a land border with Cambodia covering 4 districts อรัญญประเทศคลองหาดตาพระยา and โคกสูง districts. There are 4 border places with one major permanent place well known as Longgear Market at Aranya Pradesh district, where is the biggest market for second goods. If you want to buy some of good quality second hand, I really recommend. Second is cultural tourist destination that could be seen from the old cotton that is in abundance throughout the province, like Stockholm cluster in โคกสูง district, เขาน้อยสีชมพู cluster, and so forth. It also has an abundance of rich natural resources like the Park Sida National Park and Ta Phra National Park. For next, I would like to present you some famous tourist attractions of my province. Park Sida National Park is the best place for someone who loves to visit the natural almost place. You can see the landscape, forest, the beautiful complex, hill, and Park Sida waterfall. If you love to watch and take pictures among butterflies, you can go tree in the rainy season until end of season before winter coming. Secondly, Lalu is a commonwealth located at Ban Khong Yang Tra Phaya district. He is a natural phenomenon caused by the moving of the earth, creating of different shapes, similar to Pet Mueang Pi in Phrae province. There are many fantastic shapes look like progress. There's very interesting place. And the last, I would like to invite you to visit the ancient cathedral which is Stockholm Cathedral with located in โคกสูง district, a late and important archaeological site of Sakel and also the longest historical run in the age. There are some interesting places in my province that I recommend you to visit for one. There are many interesting places that I can cover is finally as am representative of Sakel people would like to say welcome you all to the one of wonderful province of the East and feel your experiences in my home as happily. The border of the East, beautiful forest, beauty, waterfall, and since civilization, Thai Cambodia Point. Cookie on the floor. She takes a cookie out of the package. She drops the cookie. It falls on the floor. The cookie breaks. It breaks into four pieces. Four pieces are on the floor. She picks up the pieces. She takes them to the kitchen. She throws them into the fractions. She takes another cookie out of the package. A cat and a dog. The cat licked its paws. The cat licked its belly. The dog licked its paws. The dog licked its belly. The cat lies in the grass. The dog lies in the grass. The cat rolls into its black. The dog rolls into its black. The cat and dog do things together. Her book and her cats. She picks up the books. It is her favorite book. It has a red cover. It has 55 pages. It has many pictures. It has pictures of many animals. She likes animals. She has 2 cats. She likes her cats. Their names are Fluffy and Muffly. She shows them the pictures in the book. A young girl knows how. She is 6 years old. She knows how to walk. She knows how to run. She knows how to swim. She knows how to play soccer. She knows how to ride a horse. She knows how to walk her dog. She knows how to read. She knows how to write. A shop on the farm. Any uncle is a farmer. Any go to the farm. He milks the cow. He feeds the pig. It is always hungry. He lays the eggs. The chickens lay many eggs. He finishes his 3 jobs. He says goodbye to his uncle. His uncle thanks him. He gives Andy 2 dozen eggs. A baby goes to sleep. The baby climbs on the floor. It stops. Then it climbs some more. Then it stops again. Mama looks at the baby. She picks up the baby. She carries the baby to the cliffs. She puts the baby in the cliffs. She puts a blanket on the baby. The baby falls asleep. He talks to mom. The phone rings. He hears the ringing. He picks up the phone. He says hello. The other person says hello. The other person is his mom. She talks to him. He talks to her. She finishes talking. She says goodbye. He says goodbye. They hang up. He waits. The phone rings again. Monkeys at the zoo. She goes to the zoo.
There are many animals at the zoo. She likes the monkeys. They have funny faces. They have long tails. They jump around a lot. She goes to the monkey creek. There are 6 monkeys in the creek. She looks at them. She waves to them. She says hello to them. A stick and a dog. He took the dog for a walk. He picks up a stick. He throws the stick. The dog chases the stick. It brings back the sticks. It gives him the stick. He throws it again. The dog brings the stick back. The dog walks over to a tree. It pees on the tree. He takes the dog home. She has dreams at night. She dreams at night. She dreams while she sleeps. She dreams about many things. She dreams about her parents. She dreams about school. She dreams about her friends. She dreams about her dog and the cat. She dreams about the future. She dreams about the past. She dreams about monsters. Those dreams wake her up. Read a book in bed. The book is on the nightstand. She gets into bed. She picks up the book. She opens the book. She reads 10 pages. She likes the story. She turns to pack even. Her dad comes in. He says good night. She kisses her dad. She closes the book. She turns off the lamp. She goes to sleep. A noise in the night. She says her prayers. She gets into bed. She turns out the light. She hears a noise. She turns on the light. She looks around her room. Everything looks okay. She turns out the light. She hears the noise again. She turns on the light. She looks around. She is scared. She calls her dad. School is out for summer. Summer vacation starts this afternoon. It starts at 3 o'clock. She is so happy. She looks at the clock. It's almost 3 o'clock. She is ready for a summer of fun. She is ready for fun at the beach. She looks at the clock again. It's only 5 minutes. She goes home until September. Hot day, cool pool. She put on her swimsuit. She walked to the swimming pool. It is a hot day. The sky is blue. There are a few white clouds in the sky. She gets to the pool. She looks at the water. It is blue. It is cool. It jumps into the water in few turquoise. Her nails blue dress. She walks into the store. She looks at the dresses. There are many dresses. She wants a blue dress. She sees a blue dress. She takes it to the dressing room. She tries the blue dress on. It fits. She likes it. She takes east of Phonetics is to the crusher Chi by east.
Tie this pink into gold links under my step to rent in baht. Gold sellers in Thailand are struggling as outlets for financial lifeline amid the pandemic, a tactic that risks complicating government efforts to tame and export assisting largely in the nation's currency. Export of precious metals subject to a record this year as prices climb and ties along that jewelry bar and addition to recap for routine expenses. Billion traders expect the trend to continue into 2024 as the coronavirus ranks on tourism and manufacturing, the mainstay of Thailand's economy. Gold is sold to sell than land or economy lumps, said Prawan Nawawatanasap, Chief Executive Officer of YLG Bellon International, one of Thailand's top gold traders. Thai people still have Thai stockpile of gold as the nation has been more of the net importer than exporter in the past. Quick cash from more than 1,800 gold shops across the nation has been one of the most common ways Thais have weathered the economic downturn in addition to taking out short-term loans, skipping debt payments, and finding second jobs. As a result, gold exports jumped to 237.4 metric tons during January to October, compared with 130 tons for all of 2019. Official data show net exports of 135 tons during the first 10 months of this year are the highest size at rate 2010, according to Commerce Ministry figures. Gold out dollar in those gold shipments, however, are weakening Thailand currency across supers, helping drive gains in the baht that tend fragile economic recovery. The baht has rallied more than 9% from its low in April, a shock also due to US dollar weakness. Gold is up 25% this year after hitting a record in August. The Bank of Thailand is seeking to collect more gold trading using for getting currency deposit and attempt to shield the baht from swing in sales of the precious metal when price spikes. The first such program went to between Bangkok Bank and Go Marketplace Hoa Sinh Heng start this month. The central bank did respond to an emailed request for comment. Baht strength will stay with use as it comes from structural problems such as high current account surplus and round investment, according to Sompravin Maprasert, chief economist at Bank of Ayutthaya. The PN step on gold may help club volatility only in long term. Southeast Asia second biggest economy is expected to rebound 3.2% in 2021 after this year 6.6% connection, according to bond projection with interest rated already at record low. The central bank has turned its attention to baht, repeatedly labeling it alike to export in outlet arrive of mislead to encourage capital outflows to cool the currency to test complicated as a weak US dollar sparks fund flows into emerging market globally. The board has seen its foreign exchange reserves jump by almost 100 million baht in the past 5 years to record 2,055 million baht, or about 47% of gross domestic produce, mainly from efforts to stem baht appetition that include the alliance of the US with Oliver this month that Thailand to what list of potential currency manipulator, while vaccine is being rolled out globally. The pandemic will likely continue to drive up poverty and unemployment rate in the near term. That means Thais are expected to continue selling gold next year, according to MTS Gold Group, a billion exporter. Suvirat Namvisha, 22, a Bangkok office worker, sold a gold necklace last month to pay medical bills and other expenses related to her pregnancy after her employer slept overtime allowances. I need money to pay my bills, and setting goal is my best option. Mrs. Suvirat said, I managed to sell my last gold necklace after my baby is born. Looking ahead, I only see rising expenses with limited income.
Speeches about ASEAN. I have been researching on the internet found that currently the regions of Southeast Asia, 10 countries, including Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, and and Myanmar. Efforts towards the establishment of an ASEAN economic community by the makers is to create a good relationship between the countries members and their lost partners, including trust, economics, socials, and tourists. Culture is the way, always, of life of people. Thus, Thai culture means the way or the happier of the Thai people. Thai people have a lot of good culture such as 1. Culture in a smile. Thai means Thai people smile and be friendly. 2. Hospitality. That means Thai people's away how the others. 3. Cultures of respect religions. This means that most Thais, that Buddhists, they follow the teachings of the Buddha, that is ignore all evil, do good and make mind to be happy. 4. Culture in a seat, for example, sitting neatly. 5. Culture of drinking, for example, do not drink until drunk. 6. Culture in a dressing, for example, wear tie clothing, do not show the body, and so on. We will promote Thai culture how? I think we have two easy ways to promote Thai culture. 1. Thai people welcome foreigners to come to Thailand with a friendly. 2. Promote Thai culture through the media in our country.
No lockdown but COVID control zoning of provinces for zones depending on degree of infection. There will be no national lockdown, but COVID-19 control zoning is being imposed based on the number and degree of new cases, with new establishments permitted only under strict conditions, and Central for COVID situation administration analysis of the day. CCSA spokesman Dr. Thuisin Visanuyotin says there are 4 zones for COVID-19 control measures now being applied to provinces affected immediately. They are red zone, maximum control, considerable number of COVID-19 cases, orange zone, control zone, more than 10 cases and rising, yellow zone, high surveillance, with no more than 10 cases and control possible. Green zone, surveillance, with no crisis or likelihood of infection. The red zone maximum control presently covers only Smutsarkhon province, the epicenter of the later COVID-19 outbreak, he said. In this zone, infected and at-risk people as well as at-risk business and activities are quickly identified. Infected people are admitted to a 5 hospital and at-risk people are quarantined. At-risk premises are closed or have operating how limited transport of migrant workers out of the area is business. Transport of this is restricted while impacts on business and industry are limited. Work from home is maximized. Education moves online. Cloud activity are managed. Maximum COVID-19 prevention is imposed at workplace, factory and workers' dormitories. Fishing continues, but fishermen and seafood must be subject to active COVID-19 tests. Affected people are rehabilitated. Measures in the 3 other zones are gradually relaxed in accordance with the degree of COVID infection. Transport of migrant workers out and orange zone is managed. The control zone orange covers provinces surrounding สมุทรสาคร Bangkok สมุทรสงคราม ราชบุรี and นครปฐม The high surveillance zone yellow comprises 25 provinces สระบุรี สมุทรปราการ สุพรรณบุรี นนทบุรี ปทุมธานี อุตรดิตถ์ ฉะเชิงเทรากำแพงเพชร เพชรบูรณ์ อยุธยา ภูเก็ต เพชรบุรี นครราชสีมา ปราจีนบุรี กระบี่ ขอนแก่น ชัยนาท อุดรธานี พิจิตร นครศรีธรรมราช สุราษฎร์ธานี ประจวบคีรีขันธ์ ชัยภูมิ นครสวรรค์ and อ่างทอง The surveillance zone green applies to provinces without an infected case. Dr. Thavisin says New Year celebrations are managed in the maximum control zone unless entrusted online. Practice can be held in the control zone on the condition the number of attendees is limited. Celebration can be organized in the 2 other zones, but must be now safe and now crowded gatherings allowed. Dr. Thavisin says the zone control designation of the various provinces could change depending on the situation there. Thank you. No lockdown but COVID control zoning of provinces for zones depending on degree of infection. There will be no national lockdown, but COVID-19 control zoning is being imposed based on the number and degree of new cases, with New Year celebrations permitted only under strict conditions, and Center for COVID situation administration analysis of the day. CCSA spokesman Dr. Thavisin Visanuyotin says there are 4 zones for COVID-19 control measures now being applied to provinces affected immediately. They are red zone, maximum control, considerable number of COVID-19 cases, orange zone, control zone, more than 10 cases and rising, yellow zone, high surveillance, with no more than 10 cases and control possible. Green zone, surveillance, with no crisis or likelihood of infection. The red zone maximum control presently covers only Samut Sakhon province, the epicenter of the later COVID-19 outbreak, he said. In this zone, infected and at-risk people as well as at-risk business and activities are quickly identified. Infected people are admitted to a fire hospital and at-risk people are quarantined. At-risk premises are closed or have operating how limited transport of migrant workers out of the area is business. Transport of this is restricted, while impacts on business and industry are limited. Work from home is maximus. Education moves online. Cloud activity are managed. Maximum COVID-19 prevention is imposed at workplace, factory and workers' dormitories. Fishing continues, but fishermen and seafoods must be subject to active COVID-19 tests. Affected people are rehabilitated. Measures in the three other zones are gradually relaxed in accordance with the degree of COVID infection and transport of migrant workers out and orange zone is banned. The control zone orange covers province surrounding Samut Sakhon, Bangkok, Samut Songkhram, Ratchaburi and Nakhon Pathom. The high surveillance zone yellow comprises 25 provinces: สระบุรี สมุทรปราการ สุพรรณบุรี นนทบุรี ปทุมธานี อุตรดิตถ์ ฉะเชิงเทรากำแพงเพชร เพชรบูรณ์ อยุธยา ภูเก็ต เพชรบุรี นครราชสีมา ปราจีนบุรี กระบี่ ขอนแก่น ชัยนาท อุดรธานี พิจิตร นครศรีธรรมราช สุราษฎร์ธานี ประจวบคีรีขันธ์ ชัยภูมิ นครสวรรค์ and อ่างทอง The surveillance zone green applies to provinces without an infected case. Dr. Thavisin says New Year celebrations are banned in the maximum control zone unless interest online practice can be held in the control zone. On the constitution, the number of defendants is limited. Celebration can be organized in the two other zones, but must be now safe and now clouded gatherings allowed. Dr. Thavisin says the zone control designation of the various provinces. Mr. Pipat, who is from Phumjai Thai, the same political party as Public Health Minister Anutin Chanvirakul, that the government approved a 45 million baht budget for the public health ministry to battle COVID-19. Even though many countries have received vaccines and started to inoculate their residents, he said Thailand with is scheduled to have its first jab by the middle of next year, one rush down the same path. The public health ministry is quietly good about the decision to wait and see the side effect. Totally. We don't have to be a COVID vaccine Chirona Mr. Pipa said. He also said Thailand will get sufficient vaccine dose for everyone as the government has funds prepared. According to the tourism of Thailand, the country is looking to welcome more than 10 million international arrivals next year, generating 500 million baht for the economy. In terms of the domestic market, after Thailand was hit by the recurrence of the pandemic and saw local tourists put their travel plans on hold during the festive season, the ministry arranges a meeting with the Thai Hotel Association on Wednesday. He said the request and arrangement to allow tourists to postpone hotel booking via a government bracket subsidy campaign. Hotels agree to let local travelers reschedule their reservations in the campaign to 6 months and 1 year, Mr. Pipa said.